You know who this bros with mics.
Hey, you heard it right there. You know who it is. Bros with mics. What up? I'm Tom.
I'm Cody.
No,
And
we
it's your
got
boy
Dynamic.
Mike.
What up, Mike? What up, Mike? You know,
What's
back
good?
like
What's
I
good?
got some because we are some. But dark mode is over. Let me fix this, y'all. Dark mode is over. Back to the traditional orange and white, baby. Rocky Top. Let's go. Where we at? But today, you know what's up, man. We finna get into these picks.
The fact that you just did that off camera to practice and still messed it up.
Hey man, that shit was clean. We good. We good. We here, baby. We live, baby. All right, man. You know what's up. Let's get into these picks, man. Let's get into these bets we're doing this weekend right here, man.
So
we
before
put our
we
money
get in
where
that,
our mouth is.
before we hop into that, I do want to say it's a big week coming up.
Huge. It's a lot of implications for the rest of the season right here, man.
It's a huge week coming up. Y'all know what it is. Oklahoma, Texas, and everything. Georgia, Kentucky. It's a lot.
Would you rather it be anything else but this type of week, though?
Man, I love it.
Everybody's got heat. Everyone's got, it's
Not them
win
boys.
go home type of games.
We relaxing right now.
Y'all's
Tennessee,
time
we
is
at
coming.
home.
Y'all's time is
We at
coming.
home.
Y'all's
We
time is coming.
enjoying these beatdowns is about to take place.
Man, hopefully not. I mean, hopefully
in our favor.
In our favor. So, just so y'all know, I did want to do a little screen share just so everybody knows that, credible source here. I just want to share my parlay from last week. I went 14-2.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, a little 14-2 action, you know what I mean? So, you can see it right here. I got Oregon State taking over Utah, USC getting a dub, Kentucky, Boston College over Virginia. Tight game. That one had me nervous, not gonna lie. I had Georgia taking home the dub. And I don't like betting the spread on Georgia because they hadn't covered the
Don't do it. As a Georgia fan, don't do it.
I got Texas taking care of Kansas, Missouri, Ole Miss, Oregon, Oklahoma, and then my two that I lost on is Duke. And I want to say something real quick on that Duke game. 13-14, late in the fourth quarter. Duke has the ball in plus territory, gives it up to Notre Dame. They go home. I mean, they go to the end zone, score. They go up by 5. And I'm like, oh, man, my 5.5 ain't going to cover. So they go for 2. So I'm like, okay, redemption time, Duke. Of course, Notre Dame gets the 2-point conversion on Duke. That makes it 21-14. Then TCU fumbling against West Virginia. Didn't see that coming at all. So, and then Washington and SMU handling business. Alabama handling business. And that's my 14-2 prediction right there.
Hey, not a bad one. Not a bad one by any means.
Not bad. And I'll give you the benefit of the doubt with the Notre Dame and Duke game because no one was anticipating that quarterback one getting hurt because Duke's quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He's out of the game, and to be honest with you, since Duke has been kind of relevant this year, he's the name of that team. There's no one else that you look at when you hear about Duke football right now as a quarterback.
Oh, so, definitely.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The TCU one, though, after my team did what they did to them last year, I knew this year was going to be an absolute train wreck.
Yeah, man. Them losing their top quarterback and wide receivers.
They lost way too much.
Yeah, it was over with. Yeah.
West Virginia, though?
No, well, West Virginia was what made that team.
I mean, don't get it twisted, though. Y'all acting like TCU is nobody's. TCU has been in the playoffs before.
But West Virginia ain't a bad team if you're at home against them. I mean, they're going to play each other.
West Virginia ain't. I don't know. It was a close game. I mean, it was only a 3-point game. I thought TCU could take that one. They was on a roll actually after the Colorado drop. But I
would have taken TCU also, but since I was in Georgia at that time, I couldn't place a bet. So
yeah, sucks.
I wouldn't blame you.
But I guess we'll start off with Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Texas. There's some news out of Texas that they're starting tight ends set to come back for this game.
Is he?
Yeah, he got an ankle injury. And they have him set to come back. They think he could be a sort of a difference maker. Me personally, I got Oklahoma still rolling on this one. I said, I said the last one, I got Oklahoma. I put my money where my mouth is, and I think Oklahoma's going to take this one.
So they do have the line spread did drop down, so y'all know, but they did have Texas as a 6.5 favorite. Now it's only it's dropped down again because earlier today I was looking at it was 5.5, so now it's 5.
So I should have put my bet. I should have waited to put my bets in.
But they got Oklahoma with a 54.5% chance of winning this game, and Texas 45.5. But so what are y'all takes on this game? Like anybody gonna argue the spread?
No, I honestly don't. I think it'll be a close game. To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other, unless big mistakes are made that people don't foresee. Right? Both teams are at the point in their schedule that you should be playing sound football at this point. If you're still making mistakes, those guys shouldn't be in that position. They're not right in that position at this point. So unless an injury happened and you got a lineman who have to substitute in, or your center plays over to one, then you take it as it is, right? But at this point in the season, there should be no true blowouts between two top-tier teams. It should be back and forth, and it should be a close game. Should be in the key word with this. Now, will it be that way? Who knows? Oklahoma might come in, but you know what? We're tired of being an underdog. You're on that pedestal, which is what I said. Hey, when you're up that high, it's that much room to fall. Look where Texas is at. Number 3, that's pretty high to beat, right? So at some point in time, they got to get knocked down, and I think Oklahoma's in that position to knock them down right now.
Mike?
I'm excited for this game because it feels like this is the first time in years that this is going to be an absolutely competitive game, because with no disrespect to your side of it, I just feel like the last 4 to 5 years of these games have been extremely heavily on one side. We know going into like how we are right now, standing here on a Friday, the last couple of years we've been able to tell who's going to win very easily. I'm excited to see, because it feels like both teams have what they need to have on offense and on defense to be a top 5 team, a very competitive playoff team. I'm excited to see, because I haven't seen y'all's defense yet. I'm excited to see just how well that defense has turned around, because that's what I've heard. I've talked to a bunch of Oklahoma fans, and they've talked that, everyone said that our thing that we needed to change was our defense, and we've done it. And I'm excited to see that up against that Texas offense, because that Texas offense ain't no slouch either. I'm still salty that they got one of our receivers in Donnie Mitchell, but all good to him. He's out there. He's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, going crazy.
I want to lean with Oklahoma just because I feel like y'all have a little bit more. Texas, I'm not saying they're a bad team whatsoever, but I just think y'all are going to have that extra factor, even though I can't stand Baker Mayfield. Can't stand him. I can't. I don't know what it is about him. Just don't like him. And I saw that he was on College Game Days, their guest picker, and I almost flipped my pick. When I saw that, I almost said, I might have to hook him tomorrow. I might just have to hook him.
I don't know. Okay, so real quick on Baker, because
before you get to Baker, I will say, Mike, I gotta correct you a little bit. If you really look at the historical stats, yes, Texas does lead at 63-50, right? That's a pretty big gap, because for a while that Texas was dominant. We looked through the 90s. Texas was the main team through the 90s with that.
That's the only time that Oklahoma had a down drought was the 90s.
Yep. But I will say in the 2000s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only 8 have gone to Texas. Now, last year was a blowout with 0. Y'all put it now, nada.
But we didn't have a quarterback last year at all.
Back and forth. Remember 2020, there was 4 overtimes. So that was a very back and forth game with Oklahoma.
It's always close. It's always close. I mean, out of the last 10 years, we're up 7-3. Yeah. So it's always close, and those games are usually a touchdown or so.
Yeah.
But
we had Baker. But you're saying about old Baker, man.
Yeah. So Baker, I don't know if you watch basketball, but Russell Westbrook, if you know this guy, plays with his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
Like his emotion plays through him, right? And that's just how I see Baker, like, and I literally was just watching, I was watching Baker the other day, about 2 or 3 days ago, and it was some of his highlights, and it was against Georgia, in Pasadena, and he was like, I think, what was y'all's kicker's name, bro? I can't think of his name.
You're talking about Rodrigo.
Yeah, Hot Rod. Yes, bro. He had missed the kick, the first kick, and Baker was like, bro, that turned me up. So I remember watching that at the bar in Kennesaw, and I was turned up when they missed that. But as Lincoln Riley does, as you've seen against Colorado last week, he always gives up a big lead. But yeah, no, I like Baker just because he plays with his heart on his sleeve, and that's why I like BB is because his emotion pours through him.
Yeah.
But my take on this, bro, honestly, like how I look at it is Oklahoma's D-line is the thing that struggles out of the defense. I think the defense is better than the offense. We're I think third in offense right now, and we're second in offense or defense, and we're third in offense and defense. But anyway, the D line has only got 8 sacks so far this season, which is like 119th in the country, which is not great. It's really good run defense, but getting pressures on Quinn Ewers is something you need to do. Quinn Ewers has some overthrows this far up to this point throughout the season with some of his receivers. So that's one thing that I think if you can pressure him a little bit, you can get that. You can force him to make some mistakes, right?
Yeah.
But as far as Texas, they have a really good defense. Really good defense. I mean, defensive line is, I think, what they make it out to be. Like they are a run stopper. They get pressure to everybody. Everything's good. But 5 Texas, it's one of those games. Like being a fan, I would love to say let's take Oklahoma, but I honestly have no clue.
Yeah.
I really have no clue.
Yeah, it can go either way at this point in time. Really, it's like I said, it's going to come down to who's going to make the mistakes first. Who's going to put themselves in a position? Is their defense going to get the turnovers to get that offense off the field, so they get their boys back out to score again, or how's it going to go back and forth? Is Texas going to be able to provide some big plays and gash them down the field? It's going to be a matter of who's going to get the big play first. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to mess up at some point in time. Yeah. Who makes it first? Who makes a mistake first? Who has that false start that causes the third and short to become a third and long? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it's going to come down to is that discipline. At the end of
wait, hold on. I got a guest real quick that's calling in. Oh, never mind. It was Zavaris. He was I was going to get him to make a pick against this Oklahoma, but I think he hung up.
Oh, okay.
But
I do got a fun fact real quick that is about this, not to throw you off, not to get it. So this game has historically been played in Dallas, at least since 1929, right?
Right.
For either one of y'all, do you know where the one place since 1929 that has been played in other than Dallas? Now, you're saying, think about it. There's one spot since 1929. It's fairly recently, too, that allegedly that this took place in. They said December 1st, you guys played somewhere else.
2020?
No, not 2020. You guys played somewhere else on this date.
What year?
See, if I get the years. Okay, I get the years. It was 2018. You guys played somewhere else. You and Texas played a game against each other.
Yeah, it was Dallas. Yeah, it was to go to the it was Kyler Murray's year. It was to go to the playoffs. We had to beat them because they beat us the first time. Then we beat them in the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. Do you know where that location was at?
It was in the Cowboy Stadium.
You tell me.
It's my guess. Where's the Cowboy Stadium at?
I thought they were in.
It's not in Dallas.
No, it wasn't in. No, it's in Arlington. The Cowboys.
Arlington. It was in Arlington.
AT&T Stadium. Yeah. So the other than that,
you
guys have only played in one other place since 1929, and that was in Arlington.
And I got that thing. Look, I told you.
Okay. I had to tell you the year. I had to tell you all that. No,
you definitely had to tell me a year. But I knew in 2018 it was college year, and Grant Calcaterra had caught the game-winning touchdown. We got a safety on him to kind of seal the game with Trey Brown. So yeah.
And that was the year that we played John the Rose Bowl, right?
No, we played. That was the back end of 18. We played Bama that year, and they beat us 45-34, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Why didn't Oklahoma come in?
No, that wasn't a year. I think if we had a defense, like if our defense was good, and the thing is, Bama was up 28-0 in this game. Don't get it twisted. We came back and cut it to, I think, 8 points, and then they had kicked the field goal and went by 11, but it ended up being 45-34. But they was up 28-0 in that game. The time that I said we shouldn't have been in there was when we played LSU.
Yeah.
With Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin.
We had to deal with that in the SEC championship game.
So I mean, the boys was on something that year. I don't know what it was, but I guess moving on here. This is my take on this one. I'm glad we're going to this one.
Yeah.
I got Ohio State and Maryland.
Maryland.
So I'm gonna read you the game spread on this. So the over under is 57, but they have Ohio State as a 19.5 favorite. I don't like that per se.
That is way too high.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Bet, I mean, if you don't want to bet that Maryland loses or wins, either way, bet that they will cover. Because I don't think Ohio is going to put up enough to beat them in that big of a deal. Because Maryland's a solid team. Mm-hmm. And Ohio's not looking fantastic. So y'all really think that they're going to just come in and blow them out 3 scores?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about that one.
That is the sneakiest game this week. I think that is the sneakiest game of the week.
That is my upset pick. I said, watch out for him. I bet on it. I bet.
Could I see it be like how it has in the past? Because this isn't the first time the only difference that we've had in the past with this game is Maryland's at the same kind of pace that they're at. They're either lost one game or they're undefeated, and they're going to the big house. They're going to the shoe. Yeah. That's a whole different environment. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's tough.
But this year, isn't it out, or is it in the shoe again, or is it out? It's in the shoe. I think the 19 is way too much.
I think so too.
I just don't. As much as I'd like to it's easy to just close your eyes and say, okay, it's probably going to be Ohio State. Cool, yeah. But I think this is going to be a last drive of the game, or some sort of mistake on Ohio State's side or Ohio State's part, whether it be a blocked field goal or whether it be a penalty that puts them in a bad situation. I legitimately could see if that was to happen, or if they got to get into a situation where this game is really close coming down to the end, Maryland might win that. And you want to
Maryland, I think, easy. Boy, College parking is going to be off the chain up here. So
this whole state's going to be off the chain. What are you talking about?
Man. And that's the thing. That's a lot of things I've heard on a lot of different shows, even on the Late Take, and a few other people. Nobody's really watched the Maryland games. They're quiet. What I say? Don't get up on that pedestal. This is that much higher than knock you off. Chipping away. And if you can knock number 4 off unranked, you know what kind of difference that makes for your program? Now, it's not like they have the rest of the year scot-free, right? They still are in the Big Ten. You still got to play the rest of the Big Ten. They still got Penn State. They still got Michigan. And I don't think Ohio is the better of those 3 teams, right? So it's not like it's easy for them at this point in time. But knocking number 4 off, then you go in against those other 2, and they can still finish their season.
Controlling your destiny at that point. You completely have control of your destiny. You don't have to rely on Penn State to drop one, Michigan to drop one, Ohio State to drop one. You don't have to do any of that.
No, you get a win right here. You're competitive against the other 2 and possibly squeak out another one. Imagine that. Maryland? That would be that. That would shake up. This year's already crazy, I think, what a lot of people, the unpredictability of the season. But if Maryland can do that, that'd be wild.
So, I'm gonna get DeVars to make a pick here in a second, but
we gotta go for the Georgia game. We gotta say
we're going. I'll get them to do the Georgia game. Yeah. We can do that next. So Mike, over under and line value in this game. What you got?
What the
Ohio State
spread is 19. Ohio State
19.5.
19.5.
Over under is 57.
I'd go under, and I'm gonna take Maryland with them points, because I think it's gonna be way under 19, and I do believe in Maryland. Listening to both of y'all's kind of point of view from it, I think this is the one thing that Ohio State really hasn't had happen yet in their year so far, is they really haven't had to lock in truly on a team. And I think Maryland, coming in undefeated, understands and knows. I'm going to take the under on the total points, and I'm going to take Maryland.
All right, Tom.
I think the over under is a little high, to be honest with you. I think I'd put it more like 47. And if the spread, I put the spread more like a 5.5 or maybe 7. I would put it like a 7.5, if that. Right? I think Maryland's going to be very competitive in this game. 19.5 is just too much for what we've seen from Ohio State this year, right? That Youngstown game, the other ones, it's like they're not elite. They're fourth in ranking because of what they did last year.
Yeah.
And we've seen what happened last year with the choke. So they were a solid team. They allowed Georgia to get another ring when they shouldn't have got another ring. I digress. But if we look at this year, they only put up 23 against Indiana. Maryland is a heck of a lot better than Indiana. Youngstown State, you only put up 37. Western Kentucky is trash, 63. That's your best game, right? I mean, Notre Dame, you put up 17. I don't understand how they feel they're going to have such a big spread against them. So, no, Maryland's going to cover that spread or win, one of the two.
So I think 57, I don't know, just because Maryland's defense isn't great. But I do want to say that I like I said to start off, I think 19.5 is a little overboard for that. So maybe, bro, it's so hard to bet against Vegas. It
is, but look at this Indiana game, right? They didn't even cover the over-under on that. It was 23-3. That was no 57 points. Youngstown, I mean, the 57 because they think Maryland's going to score high. I don't think it's going to be that big of a game where they're out there just 27 points apiece, right? 30 points apiece. I could be wrong. I think it's going to be a defensive possession game. Going to be a nice game, back and forth. I don't think it's going to be a big slugfest. I could be wrong though. Yeah, I could be wrong.
Go ahead. If I was going to add this, if I'm Maryland, I have been in contact with Notre Dame the whole last week. What did y'all scheme up? How did y'all scheme it up? How did it, what were some of the things that you saw? Because let's not act like Ohio State dominated Notre Dame. They won on legitimately the last damn play.
With 10 people on the field.
10 people
on the field. And it wasn't like it was an easy go. Like, the time was running out, and they had to hurry up and get over the line. So everyone, all these Ohio State fans that I know that were like, you said that we was going to lose to Notre Dame. One player added to the field, shit, you might have.
Yeah.
Might
have. I would have won my $400 like I was supposed to.
I'm saying.
But that's neither here nor there.
They cost me too. They cost me. I went to sleep thinking, Notre Dame got this. Let me put another bet in.
Yeah.
No.
But while he gets situated, I'm gonna skip Georgia for now, and I'll come back to him. But I want to hit on next the LSU Mizzou. Big LSU Mizzou. So right now they got LSU with 5.5 favorite and over under 64. Now LSU, something to be said about LSU. They have went over in every game so far this year. LSU has went over, but Mizzou they're looking decent. I'm not gonna lie, they are looking decent. Now they got really good receiving core. The quarterback is playing pretty sound. Right now they're passing about a little over 300 yards. LSU's passing around 350. They're rushing for $150, almost $150 at 149. LSU's running for 198, which I think this was 64. I think that's pretty good line value. But I guess my pick in this game, this is a tough one.
Who did I say the other day? Just so I make sure I'm not double going back over myself right here. Because
so you said LSU.
I was okay. I wanted to make sure that's what I said because I still feel the same. I have no faith in Missouri. Right?
I think I'm taking Mizzou. They're playing in Missouri. I think Missouri's they're just. This is their state. This is their chance to make their statement. This is one of those games where you're hyped for, you're ready to make some shake. Has LSU checked out so far? That's another thing. I mean, they only have one loss in the West so far, but they have 2 losses on the year. College football hopes probably unlikely. But Brian Kelly is Brian Kelly, former Notre Dame head coach.
Oh man, where is this praise coming back from these guys, man? Like. MTSU struggled to win. Kansas struggled to win. Memphis struggled to win. And these are all at home. These are all at home. Versus. They were all at home, and you're struggling to beat these teams? Ain't no way LSU doesn't come in and There's no way, man.
This is coming from experience now.
Missouri
is the night game.
It's being played at 12, so it's noon.
You better be damn lucky if you from LSU that it was at 12, because I've seen a night game in Missouri, and I know
crazy.
Last year,
it's crazy.
Number one team who struggled all the way to the last drive in the fourth quarter. We struggled.
Yeah,
Missouri. I understand that as SEC people, we have always treated Missouri as the redheaded stepchild. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. We've always treated them that way. It's just something we do.
Mm-hmm.
But Missouri is like that this year. They got a receiver, Luther Burden. That dude is like that this year. Here's
former Oklahoma player.
Like that.
Here's my thing. When LSU started off this year, everyone was talking about Jaden Daniels and his productivity on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They also talked about LSU's defense and that DN. What's his last name? Perkins.
He's linebacker.
Yeah,
Kendrick Perkins.
Where's he?
No, it's not Kendrick Perkins. It's Harold Perkins. Kendrick Perkins is a basketball player.
Harold Perkins.
Which takes me to my point.
But he hasn't been off this year.
He's done nothing. That defense is not looking as good as it was last year, which I'm not going to say it looked that great last year because they gave up 50 in the SEC championship game. Their defense wasn't that great, but they showed some strides that they could be a potential top 10, top 15 defense across college football altogether. You're going into Missouri. Missouri's on a high. They know what's riding on it. And then you bring in LSU, who's, yes, been producing on offense, but their defense has looked shaky. I'm taking Missouri.
I'm taking Mizzou, man. And, Tom, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
They haven't proven it. Not to say they're not going to get the job done at home. Missouri's tough to play at home. I'm sure in one of my parlays, I was like, you know what, let me just throw them in there. But my man was on betting on LSU, my guy.
Money line. Are you taking a money line or are you taking
money line?
Okay, so that just goes to show me you're not that confident in them.
I'm taking the money line. I'm taking the money line.
I'm taking Mizzou covering the spread just to be safe. 5.5. 5.5. Honestly, touchdown lead. Like I can see it from both ways. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I don't have LSU in a parlay because I do. Covering the spread, but honestly, like I just like Mizzou in this game. I'm not. It's not a lock, but I think I like Mizzou in this game. All right. So next here, I got a good one.
Where he at? He ready for this call, man? Let's get it.
No, not yet.
I got my Roll Tide and the 12th man right here.
The Tide and A&M. This is Tom, I'll let you go first, but this is a big game for both teams, I believe. I mean, Alabama only a 2-point favorite. They got the over under 46. Tom, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I said it and I'll say it again. I don't have a lot of faith in A&M, but if A&M plays a complete game, I can see them getting a victory. That's the only reason I'm going A&M, because if they can play a complete game, A&M can get it done. However, if they don't, you can't slip up, especially late against Bama. Bama is a team that will grind you out in the beginning, let you think you got a riding high, and then they chop you down at the end. I like TAMU in this one. We got them at the line is 2 and over under 46. They have that for a reason. They don't think it's going to be a blowout either way, right? So TAMU, if you can play a complete game, I think they covered that, and I took the money line on TAMU getting the dub on this one.
I don't know if I'm sold on Jalen Monroe so far, but I will say this: the only thing that is taking, I'm taking Bama money line. I'll probably take Bama to cover the spread just because it's so low.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm taking Bama is, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I'm taking Bama is because Texas A&M's quarterback's hurt.
Oh,
their quarterback is hurt.
Yeah,
and they got a backup in. He threw for he had a pick last
Connor
week.
Wegman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The backup, I can't think of the backup's name, but he had a pick last week, threw for 2 touchdowns, a little over 200 yards. Nothing impressive, but not too bad, enough to get the job done. I just don't believe. I believe in Jalen Monroe more than I believe in Texas A&M backup.
Okay.
I think
Johnson,
Yeah, Max Johnson wasn't that the starter, or is he the guy that's in now?
So Connor Wegman should be their starter, right?
No, he's hurt. I think.
Yeah, Wegman's hurt.
Wegman's a starter.
Yeah,
he was the starter.
Here's what I will say. Last year, going into this game, we had no faith, obviously, because of what Alabama had on offense, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No faith whatsoever. You got Bryce Young, you've got that receiving core, you've got all that.
Okay, Wegman's out for the season.
Yeah, he's hurt. Oh. So you didn't know that, boy. You better start doing your studies.
I'm saying about what I said.
I believe that Alabama has more than the ample opportunity to win this game easily, regardless of what Milroe shows up. To be honest with you, it's hard to really make a pick on these Alabama games because you don't know which one of the three quarterbacks is going to show up. Which never in my life would I have imagined Nick Saban do what he's done to that quarterback room in a single year. Having all three of them play and all three of them play average or below average is insane.
Well, to cut you off really quick. My boy Barron, he knows football probably just as much as I do. And he kind of said Nick Saban was like, everybody was ragging on after the Bama game. They was ragging on Monroe, saying, "Hey, we need somebody else. He ain't the guy." So Nick Saban, being the gangster that he is, let's be honest, was like, "You want to see what else we got?
All right,
let me show you."
I got you.
And it showed against South Florida.
He opened the door. That's what you want. I'm gonna give you what you want.
Yeah, and he was like, "Look, this is what we have to work with." And this was South Florida. Now, don't get me wrong. And they didn't do. He was like, "I'm working with what I got, pretty much."
But he recruited them guys, and we ain't gonna act like
he did. He did.
We ain't gonna act like he didn't not only get the coach from Notre Dame, but said, "Hey, bring that quarterback you had with him too."
He did.
So he can't sit there and be like, "Well, this is what I got to deal with." No, you signed this, big fella. You made this pick too. I'm gonna say Alabama, but I would not be surprised if last year's type of game happens again this year. And let's not act like
Texas 2-point conversion, right? Last year
it was a 2-point conversion and a field goal. That's what changed the entire game. Let's not act like Texas A&M quarterbacks was healthy anyway. That kid was dragging his arm down the field just to get another pick off. So I'm gonna stay safe and say Alabama, but I would be extremely unsurprised if last year's type of game happens again and Texas A&M wins.
It's tough though. It's tough because Bama is playing at the 12th man.
They're just so wishy-washy.
They are.
And I will say half of my bets, I ain't gonna lie, half for Bama, half for TAMU.
Smart man.
I ain't gonna say here and lie.
Okay, so let's say you putting in a parlay for $100. You putting in every team that we covering today. Who you taking in this game?
I put in for $100. See, for my big money ones that are going for,
knowing what you know now. Let's say knowing what you know now.
I ain't gonna lie, I already got Alabama on it. but in my other ones, I had something I got the free bets on. I got TAMU in there. So why not? It doesn't hurt. I like to see the upsets. Anytime that Bama has potential for losing, I'm here for it. All right? Bama, Georgia, Florida. If anytime they're in a position to lose like Kentucky, I digress. I'm here for it. I want to see it, and I'll bet for it, and I'll put money on it if they give me free bets. So why not at that point?
All right. So I think we're all picking Bama here.
Yeah.
So my next pick,
unless they can play a complete game and this backup comes in and plays lights out, which we've seen happen. With Utah, the backup comes in, it happens. So
right. Yep. So my next pick, I'm kind of curious. I know where I'm standing on this. Mike, I'll let you start this one off, but I got Notre Dame, Louisville. Notre Dame coming in as a 6.5 favorite. The over-under is 53.5.
Oof.
Playing in Louisville, Kentucky.
I think I might have caught a couple of minutes of a Louisville game this year, so I'm not really I really don't know a whole lot what they got going on over there. Actually, let me click on it and see what they're.
Especially the best game is the Boston win.
Yeah, my thing is that I'm, regardless of the outcome of that Notre Dame Ohio State game, I got a lot of faith in Notre Dame because I think Notre Dame's offense It was solid, and it is solid because it's giving you a glimpse of what football used to be. Because Notre Dame can flat out run the dang ball, no joke.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And just looking at this matchup where they got, I think Notre Dame, in all honesty, in this type of game, it's just going to manhandle them and just to submission. It might be close for a drive or two, but eventually it's just going to be, we're going to put our foot down and we're just going to keep holding you down.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sold on Louisville. Like, I get they're undefeated, they're 5-0, but honestly,
they're 5-0 for strategic scheduling. I mean,
they struggled last week against NC State. I personally, my pick is with Notre Dame 6.5. I honestly believe this is at least a 2-touchdown game from Notre Dame. Their defense is one of the best in the country, whether you like to admit it or not. It is. They got a very good D-line, very good linebacker group, and some solid corners at DB. But I honestly, I like Notre Dame right now.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame's defense is solid.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's Louisville's defense. Louisville's defense has given up 34 to Georgia Tech, 28 to Boston College. Yeah, they shut out Murray State, but who? Indiana, all right. Notre Dame, I mean, that's a solid defense as well.
Yeah, no, Notre Dame takes this one. I don't think there's a lot of back and forth we have to go on this one. Louisville's where they are for good scheduling, and they're like any other ACC team. You look at them for a while, but dang, that is a solid team. And then they play somebody, and it's like,
never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, Boston College did have that good game against Florida State, right?
Yeah, great game.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could have won that game. They gave Florida State a scare, at least gave their fans a scare. But Louisville has a good rushing defense, a pretty solid rushing defense, amongst the best with I think Bama and a lot of SEC teams. LSU, well, let me not say LSU, but LSU is a different story. But Louisville does have a good, solid rushing defense. But Sam Hartman, veteran quarterback, was 6-year super senior, leading. I mean, you seen it last week against Duke. Just the dog was brought out for Notre Dame. So it's just one of those games where I'm just not convinced that Louisville is Lamar Jackson Louisville.
They're not.
They're far from that.
Louisville, we'll see how good they are when they play Kentucky. And Kentucky's going to do the same thing. And I think Kentucky is one of those teams where, like, it's 10-2. Yeah, you're good, but then you just get smacked by Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of those games to look out for. But moving on to – this is an interesting one, right? Me and Tom talked about this off screen. So we got Washington State, right?
Yeah, that's my sleeper.
Yeah, you did say. I'm trying to find them right now. I can't even find them.
I got it right here. We got Washington State versus UCLA. 33.6 to 6.4 right here. We got the over-under at 59.5, and then we got the line UCLA at minus 3.5 right there. Why? I have no clue. Is there something we don't know? Was the water poisoned? Like, what's going on? Oh, hello. You got a little bit of echo going.
What's up, man? What's up?
Unmute. You got some echoing going on.
Hold on, I got you.
1 second. Hold on.
Let's see
I'm
here.
good now. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
The better?
Yeah, you good. So right now we're on Washington State, UCLA. Honestly, they got UCLA favored in this game, which is crazy to me.
Same.
But I know, Tom, you did say you were speaking on that's your sleeper.
That's my sleeper, man. I've been saying it all year. Washington State is not getting the respect they deserve, man. Week in, week out.
Okay.
Ward is out there showing his ace right now, man. No interceptions, 13 tutties.
Yep.
He is what I hoped Joe Milton would look like this year. This is what I was hoping Joe Milton was going to be.
It's too late for Joe Milton.
Right? So,
too late for Joe.
He's out there showing out. I mean, Dante Moore's a solid quarterback over at UCLA. Don't get me wrong by any means. It's not like he's complete trash, and UCLA is a solid team. You only got one loss of the year, right?
True freshman, though. True freshman. Struggled last time against Utah, Dante Moore.
And they only lost by 7. Like,
they did. I mean, Utah is a good defense, but Utah got exposed by Oregon State.
Yeah.
You know, a week after that.
I mean, their starting quarterback is still not back though. So you mean?
Yeah. That's one reason to lay off of Utah is that they
let's wait till Rising. Exactly. Let's wait till Rising is back, and then let's go from there. You know.
Yeah, I mean UCLA, they're not bad, but I will give them a slight overhype, right? Like, look at their wins this year: Coastal,
but
San Diego, NCCU.
I'm a guy where a coach. Yeah, I'm a guy where a coach can definitely win me over. And the Washington State coach, he's like, preaching he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's like, hey, we're not getting no respect.
Yeah,
God, let's go out here and ball out. I mean, and I respect that. I mean, which is the same way with Deion. You know what I'm saying? I bet him to cover the spread against Oregon. Bad decision, but like his every time he gives a speech, hey, I'm like, hey, brother, I'm with you. I'm riding with you because the speech is great. I think Washington State coach is the same way. You know what I'm saying? He was disrespected by the thing they said on game day, saying that he wasn't, up to par. But anytime a coach has a chip on his shoulder, I'm ready for that. So
yeah, I'm here for it.
So let me ask.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me ask y'all. So we got Washington State, UCLA. What'd you say, spread? I know it was UCLA was favored by
3.5. I think
3.5. So I'm taking Washington money line. I think Washington State beats UCLA.
What's the spread?
3.5
plus Washington State. Who's
minus 3.5. UCLA's favorite.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and make y'all money. Go ahead and put your bucks on it. Make your money.
I'll stay away from that game for sure.
No need. So, all right, here's what we came for.
We got
what y'all are here for.
So now we got Georgia, Kentucky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Kentucky, 2 undefeateds right here. Somebody has to take the first loss of the season. They got Georgia as a 14.5 favorite against Kentucky. I'm not sold on that. Georgia hasn't covered the spread all year. Kentucky has a really good receiving crew, right? Georgia, we know about Georgia defense is good. They have some gashes so far this season. It ain't like the past 2 years, but Kentucky has a pretty decent receiving core. Like, they're really quick. They like to hit you with a lot of bubble screens, get out and get their guys in the open. But Georgia, I'm not sold on y'all's quarterback, bro.
Hold on. Hey, man, don't let. Okay, I'm no Georgia fan by any means. I hope the upset happens. I do. I bleed orange. I do. But don't let what happened last week with Auburn lull us to sleep. Right? It's still Georgia. And I think they're in a position now that everybody's doubting them, and so many people are like, hey, man, Kentucky might come in, which I'm one of those. But I don't want to get so high on Kentucky getting an upset that we forget this is still Georgia. Kentucky is still going to probably lose them as they normally do.
I think so too.
But Kentucky is a solid team. Their defense isn't bad. And they've got so much film and footage now at this point in time. You know what Georgia wants to do. Yeah. If you don't bracket Daggum Bowers and double team him, come across that middle, passing him off.
It's a double team every time.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I feel like if you do double team Brock Bowers, then what's next? I mean, Carson Beck is not. I feel like he's not that elite quarterback, and I don't think Georgia needs an elite quarterback to win. I mean, honestly, I didn't think Stetson Bennett was an elite quarterback. I think he just did what he needed to do, kind of like y'all's quarterback before. I can't think of his name. Tell me,
Teddy B.
No, that got Justin Fields out of there.
Oh.
Come on now.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's
a legend.
Jake Fromm. That's kind of how I feel about.
That's my boy. I respect.
That's how I feel about Stetson. Yeah. But Carson Beck, I don't know, bro.
I'm not sold on him by any means, any way, shape, or form. Mike, what's your opinion on this, big dog?
I got a lot to answer.
Yeah. Okay.
So with the comments about Carson Beck is actually, if you look at his output of each game and his QBR, he's just as much of a role quarterback as Stetson Bennett was.
Well, look who y'all have played. Yeah, it's easy to put up buckets against UT Martin, Ball State, UAB.
We're not the only SEC team that plays all them scrub teams either, so don't put it on me.
But I'm saying this year, I mean, South Carolina, he wasn't looking fantastic. He looked good. He wasn't fantastic that game.
Auburn wasn't fantastic.
Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers played like crazy in the fourth quarter, but I hate to tell you, someone has to throw the ball to Brock Bowers for him to do that.
Well, if you're wide open, it's easy to get the ball to him.
He was not wide open. That man had 2 catches back to back, one-handed. That was well covered.
When I tell you, he butt naked out there, wow.
Here's what I will say, and I think it's because people people see some weakness in our team, which are we. I think the hard part is that we're comparing us to the last 2 years, which I hate to tell you, and me as a Georgia fan, I'll look at you square in the face and say, we're not those other teams.
Yeah.
Those two teams are the reason that they're in the NFL now.
Yep.
Kentucky has been undefeated every single time they come to us this part of the year. Out of every year, Kentucky is always undefeated when they come to us.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new for us Georgia fans. This is nothing new. We've had to hear this year after year. Oh, well, Kentucky's serious. They're gonna come in there. They're gonna run. Yada yada yada.
Oh yeah.
He said, and we usually tear it up and then send them back to Lexington.
Same thing against Kentucky. I see Kentucky just like with Missouri. It's the same thing. Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, Akron, Vanderbilt. A sorry Florida team, which Tennessee shouldn't have lost against, but I digress. A sorry Florida team, and that's it. That's why you're undefeated, because of your strategic schedule at the beginning. You didn't get your dogs out of the way. But guess what? It is conference play now. Boom, boom, boom. You're in it now. So this is the ultimate test. If Kentucky is really about what they're talking about, now it's the time to prove it.
Do you think Tennessee's going to beat Georgia this year?
I don't see Kentucky winning this game. I don't know. No, I don't. I have Georgia in every parlay. I do have Kentucky covering the spread a couple times, but that's just because Georgia hasn't covered the spread, right?
Yeah.
It's like, is the defense bad or is the offense bad? And when I say bad, I don't mean like bad. I mean they're not complementing one another, and so it's kind of like. And I feel like it's not Georgia's defense. I feel like Georgia's defense ain't, the greatest it was the past couple of years, but I do feel like it's still elite. I still feel like it's a good defense, but I'm just not getting the why is the spread not being covered so far.
Yeah, I saw the stats the other day.
And that's just I think you hit it right on the head of it. Was this one's not complimenting the other? I will say scheming for this game, because I think you had mentioned their receiving core. For Kentucky, they're going to have to run the ball, which we've heard all these rumors about after them running the ball last week on Florida. They've got an offensive line, they've got a running back, which they've always had a running back coming out of Kentucky. I don't know if y'all even noticed it, but they have.
Yeah, Smoke. They had Kavarsky.
Snell. They had Snell that got nothing by Pittsburgh. I think.
Junior Smoke before that. Rodriguez. They've had running backs.
They've had good backs. But my one takeaway from that is, okay, cool. You can try to run the ball. But Kentucky's passing game, their quarterback is not that great.
No, he's not.
In all honesty, he's not that great. And I think you had said it, Cody, that they throw the quick stuff. They throw the quick stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, Georgia's DBs might be, middle of the pack, decent. They're probably going to get drafted. They eat that up. We, as a defensive unit, when it comes to secondary, love that type of gameplay.
Yeah. Because
it's all in front of you. You don't have to do anything back behind us. Flip back to last year, kind of side topic. Going against Tennessee, we knew the reps that were coming. It was stop, slant, and go. It's easy. Keep it all in front of you. You don't have to worry about anything. And you got the kid that keeps overthrowing, or he can't make the throw.
Yeah.
I sit back 5 yards and let you run your slant and your stop route, and I'm going to take your head off. And that's exactly why Georgia is just, come on, try to run the ball, because I know what you're going to do. You're going to throw a quick out, and then I've got Bullard who puts people to sleep.
Malachi Starks.
Malachi Starks put people to sleep. Everett that plays corner will one-handedly remove you from the field and then go get ball. They have those type of guys outside. So I love when it comes to this type of a game. I love seeing how the prep's going to be, because I know exactly what it's going to be. It's one side's going to be more dominant, and I think all four of us know which side's going to be more dominant.
Yeah, what's your opinion on this, Bar? Welcome back. We lost you for a second there.
Bro, Wi-Fi's not great. What's up?
Georgia, Kentucky. Line is 14 and a half. Over under 47. What do you think?
You know, I'm a Georgia fan, obviously, but you know, if I wasn't a Georgia fan, I'd be betting 14.5. You know, with Kentucky.
With Kentucky.
I mean, Georgia. I mean, I love Georgia. I think they're, you know, they're getting better every week, but they just start off so slow every single time. And I think the Kentucky team is a pretty decent team. You know, I mean, I think that it'll be a 14-point game. I think the fact that the line is 14.5 is kind of gives you that line to go for. You know what I'm saying? I would bet 14.5. If it's 13.5, I wouldn't take it. You know, but I think that Kentucky will keep it with 2 touchdowns. You know, because Georgia just starts off so slow. You know, so that's my opinion personally. So.
They do start off very slow. You did also say you had a lock. Who is your lock?
Yeah, I mean hey, Cody, love you, brother. You know, you're my cousin.
All right.
The lock is Texas. No! Texas is covering. I mean, there's no way that Kentucky. I mean that Oklahoma should be 5.5 underdogs to Texas. You know, Texas has played better teams. They've came out. There's no way that Oklahoma covers tomorrow. And I love you, Cody, and I love Oklahoma, you know, but your gambling brain tells you that they're not covering. I mean, who has Oklahoma played? So Oklahoma's played Arkansas State, SMU, Tulsa, Cincy, Iowa State.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Texas played Rice, Bama, West Virginia, Wyoming, Baylor.
Ohio.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, like
no, and this is the thing. We made these picks earlier, and I'll say this: I honestly have no clue.
What you got?
And I can't be mad if you say Texas covers the spread. I can't be mad if you say Oklahoma covers. I honestly have no clue. But this is what I will say: Oklahoma has not played the greatest teams. I'll give you that.
Yep.
But on the other hand, is Texas struggled against Rice. The score doesn't indicate how it came out. Facts. Struggled against Rice. Facts. Struggled against Wyoming, Tom. We talked about that on air, I believe. Watch it there. Yeah. Okay, now I will say this too. Texas has played backup quarterbacks all year. They have played Rice, JT Daniels, backup quarterback at Georgia. Wyoming, a backup quarterback. Kansas, backup quarterback. Jalen Monroe, backup quarterback. It's the starter.
He was.
He was the starter. But arguably the worst quarterback that Alabama has had in the last 10 years. Yes or no?
No, definitely, but
easily, yeah.
Okay, so it's like
that was arguably right.
Okay, so
if you go to Tuscaloosa and you come out with a win, my respect
it's
goes
difficult
up for you. Because Bama's not dead. Like people are trying to write off Bama and say
they're not.
Nick Saban too old, writing him off. Like I'm not ready to get there yet. But like if you go into Texas, if you go into Tuscaloosa to get you a win, hey, respect. And
it's tough. Honestly,
I think Texas is way better than Oklahoma personally, but you know.
And honestly, I think that I like Oklahoma's offense more than I like Texas.
Yep.
But I like Texas defense, and me personally, I think Texas should be ranked the number 1 team in the nation. That's just my personal opinion. I think they're that good.
I mean, first off, the line was 5.5 is the line.
Yeah. It was 6.5.
Yeah. Okay. Last time I said it was 5.5, but like the thing is, like that's
it's 5 now.
Line.
It's 5.
It's 5 now.
Exactly. Vegas. It's a Vegas line. It's 5 points. Games never within 5 points. Like
ever.
It's a Vegas line. They're trying to bait you one way or the other. Like no game ever ends with 5 points. Like they know that. So like they don't know either. So I'm telling you, there's no way Oklahoma should be a touchdown within Texas and Austin, Texas. Come on now. That crowd's gonna be crazy. Dallas. Oklahoma haven't played nobody all year. Texas went into Tuscaloosa and got a win. Hey, I'm just saying it's a lock. For me personally, I could be wrong, and I'll come on the next time and apologize. But I'm telling you, it's a touchdown game at least.
Hey,
it's a touchdown game at least.
That's what
I like it. I mean, and that's the thing too. Like I look at Oklahoma and I say, okay, we haven't played anybody. But I look at Texas and I say, you play backup QBs all year. But and under the same breath, I say Texas should be ranked number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So and that's where it comes from. Like a little lack of. And I think everybody that's made a pick is not confident. I don't think that you can put a lock on the Oklahoma-Texas game. Like, if I'm looking at it, Texas is good as fuck. I mean, good as hell. They're good, but Texas is
alive, brother.
Texas is a damn good team, but it's the Red River Showdown now. What shootout? Red River Showdown is split 50-50. The crowd is split 50-50. Yes, it's in Texas, but I mean, Texas actually travels farther to the game than Oklahoma does. So it's one of those games where, like,
Oklahoma fans.
You said what?
I said, what are you saying about Oklahoma fans? I was excited to see Georgia play Oklahoma this year. I mean, we planned to go to the game, and
I was talking that got canceled.
Yeah,
pushed.
Honestly, and the thing is, you can't judge Georgia for their schedule. They planned to play Oklahoma. They had a couple of games they had to reschedule. So, like, the schedule's weak. I can't dispute that. It is okay.
Well, the only reason
the
only reason it got canceled is because they couldn't do a home and home. So that's why it got canceled. But I will say Joe Klatt and Kirk Herbstreit went on air and said that they liked Oklahoma over Georgia. So it's and I personally this year. And Tom, this year. And Tom, I've told you I wish we'd have played. Okay, I will. And I was like, I personally liked Oklahoma to play Georgia. I think that's a win. That would have been my lock. I would have liked them to beat Georgia before Texas. I'll say that.
And like I said, and I've said it a couple of times in there, actually, Oklahoma has to prove themselves. That Georgia game would have been something to prove. The reason why Oklahoma is at number 12 right now is because you haven't had that proven game yet. You haven't had to test your mettle.
That's very true. And
this is the game to do it. I think Oklahoma's a sneaky good team. I think Oklahoma's a team that we're going to be watching out for. And I think Oklahoma's going to go in and get the game, get the W this game. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game one way or the other. It is going to be
and this is the thing. If Oklahoma drops this game, I want everybody to understand it. They're not to be written off. I honestly think that Texas beats 99% of the top 25. The only people I couldn't see them beating is maybe
Tennessee. I mean,
no, definitely not.
Is this your built-in excuse? That's fine. I get it.
No, it's not an excuse. I honestly don't know, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know if Oklahoma's gonna win or not. I can't sit here and say Oklahoma got this in the bag. I wouldn't tell you to bet on this game. I ain't been betting on the game.
I'm just saying, if you had to put your life savings on it, who you taking? There's no way you're taking your Sooners. Come on now.
If I put my life savings on it, if I'm being completely honest,
you going Texas. You going Texas.
He has to. He has to.
Nah, I ain't going Texas, bro. My life savings.
Let's go.
I ain't going Texas. If I put my life savings, BV is the most. You said something about coaches earlier, right?
Yeah.
BV is, and you said something, and Mike, you said something about Baker earlier, right? That sleeve that he rocks with every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this dude is gonna get you fired up to run through a brick wall if that's what he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna go try that brick wall, and that's just how I'm gonna rock with BB. I'm gonna rock with BB over Lincoln Riley. We hadn't did anything. We were 6-7 last year. Lincoln Riley is the best offensive mind in college football, and that's without a doubt. But and I said this before to them, Var, like Lincoln Riley, he will give up those. He'll get that lead just like against Georgia. He'll get that lead and give it away, just like against Colorado last week, USC. He'll get that lead, give it away. But, all jokes aside.
You said over Lincoln. I mean, he's the best coach. Almost.
No, I'm not saying he's better.
I'm
not saying he's better. And that's to be proven. I'm not saying he's better. Like, Lincoln is, like, he's a dog. He gets it done. Like the offense cannot be stopped. But it's just he gives me Baker as a coach. BB does, and that's what I like. I just like
Baker's balling right now, though.
Baker, I told you,
Baker balling Tampa down.
Mike hate Baker, bro. I'm telling y'all.
Damn,
Baker, them Buccaneers, man.
I just told y'all he was gonna be balling.
I don't know what it is like, and. It's just, I think it's just some of his makeup of how he played his games through college and stuff like that. Just kind of the weak stuff that he would say and do.
His demeanor. His demeanor. Someone else is like,
I'm not gonna lie, when they panned over during the Rose Bowl, when we had scored that touchdown with Sonny Michel, and they panned over on his face, and he stood there stone cold, tears down his face. I literally had so much joy because I just did not like the guy. I just did not like the. Is he doing the thing? Is he doing the thing out there in Tampa right now? Yeah, but who else is going to do it? Kyle Trask.
Yeah,
Kyle Trask is the other quarterback.
Trask wasn't bad at Florida. What are you talking about? Trask was in the high
in
school.
college.
That's at Florida though. Florida,
He
the NFL.
hasn't had a chance to prove it.
Come on, Tom.
Yes, he has.
He's had
a chance.
He's behind Brady. Then they brought in a veteran. I'm just saying.
Me and Cody got a good story from that night.
Yeah, that was one for the books.
Just like with Tennessee's quarterback Josh Dobbs, you didn't get a chance to prove yourself. Now he's out there. Like, hey, this guy's not half bad.
Oh yeah, no, Dobbs is completely different. Dobbs is better than Kyle Trask. I'll say that right now on the record.
Oh, 100%.
Dobbs is better.
He's doing his thing.
He's made after looking at the first game, looked at Arizona and was like, I don't want any of their players on my fantasy team. Get them away from me. I don't want any part of this. And then he steps in and they're like, well, who is this offense?
Yeah, to be the worst team out there. He's doing his thing. We don't
I
want
do
to get
have-
too far into the NFL.
I do have one more team to cover real quick, and that's Colorado and Arizona State. We can hit another one. I just wanted to know.
Colorado takes this one. But it's forks.
You think so?
I think Colorado takes it. But I'm gonna say forks up on this one because that's my school, man.
That's your squad. Colorado is a 3.5 favorite this game.
Yeah, I got Colorado.
Arizona State did play USC really close.
Yeah,
really close. I don't know.
Colorado also came back and made it kind of close too as well. So
yeah, that is true. The temperature in this game is 102.
Sheesh.
I saw that's crazy. I saw a stat the other day that's saying that Shedeur Sanders is he's taking more sacks instead of throwing picks or interceptions to like boost his draft stock, which I just saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that's true or not, but like
to teach you why throw a sack. Why throw the pick?
Because Aaron Rodgers in the league did the same thing. Like Aaron Rodgers never threw picks; he would throw it away.
Yeah, it's smart. You give him the ball,
throw it away.
Yeah, exactly. Eat it. Yeah, you eat that.
I think that's smart. But I did see a tweet about that.
That's just people hating at that point. If you say something stupid like that, like he's just taking the sack. You want him to throw the interception to give his ball
his
away?
Line on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, not great in Colorado.
Oh, terrible.
Not good.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. And I remember looking at them against TCU, and I was like, these dudes look like our high school linemen. Like really though, they were really skinny.
What is this, Last Chance You?
I don't know.
It's a great show.
I think yes, sir. It is the best show in America. I think that Colorado takes this. I like Colorado covering spread 3.5 against Arizona, but I do like the over for this game at 59 just because I don't believe in Colorado's defense at all.
Got you.
At all. Arizona has, the last few games they've scored 29, 42, 28, or no, excuse me, 29, 28, 24. But
Rashada ain't great though. He ain't great.
Yeah,
that Colorado defense got more holes in the strainer.
Yeah,
man, I'm
not. Travis Hunter back this week though? Ain't Travis Hunter back this week?
I think he is.
Shiloh.
I heard he got 2 weeks. So this should be 3 weeks from now. So I should be back. But I don't
Shiloh
know
healthy
sure.
also. We got to factor that in.
I'm not sure. I know Shiloh. They said something about he was like peeing blood before the game or the day before the game. I was like,
great.
It was like he got a hit to the kidneys or something last week.
Ain't nothing like Oregon. It, man. Ain't nothing like that kidney shot, bro. Whew.
What y'all thinking about the Bama Texas A&M spread?
Yeah, we got that.
Bama -2.
We took Bama.
I like Bama.
Okay. I tell you, if they play the complete game, but then realize their quarterback's out, I got Bama.
Yeah, I was going to take Texas A&M +3, but okay.
Yeah, they got that backup quarterback. Their quarterback's hurt. A&M.
Yeah, Bama just hasn't impressed me at all. I think in College Station, let me buy the point. Give me Texas A&M +3. Okay, I know y'all talked about that, but that's what I would take.
Okay, you got Texas A&M. I think Tom took
Texas
A&M
+3.
Tom took him.
Tom took A&M.
I took A&M.
Okay, you did? Yeah. Okay, got you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then let me ask you this: Maryland, Ohio State. Maryland, Ohio State. What you think?
What's the line?
19
and a half. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So Maryland has beat Towson, Charlotte, Virginia, Michigan State, and Indiana. 19.5 is just so many points, man. I mean, I hate to give that up, but I'll take Ohio State with 19.5. Honestly, 3 touchdowns, I'll take them.
You think so?
I'll take them. I will. I mean, because I don't think Maryland, but Michigan State, not great.
Did we watch the game
Virginia,
last year? Did we see the Ohio State game last
year? Yeah, I'm taking. Yeah. Give me Ohio State with the points. They'll 3 touchdowns to cover. Y'all taking notes?
Big. That's big.
Y'all taking notes? So when it comes Sunday morning,
they're almost actually the Ohio State team last year was better, significantly better than this year.
True.
They only won by 13.
True.
They won by 13. They were significantly better. Maryland has roughly the same amount of people, same players. They didn't lose a whole lot to the draft.
Yeah, they only lost 2 starters.
Yeah, so better Maryland team.
I want to hear Michael's thought about this Ohio State game. What you thinking?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I think the points are extremely high.
Very high.
And I think Tom or Cody, so one of y'all said maybe split the points in half, maybe go like 7 to 10 range. 7 to 10 range, yeah. 7 to 10 range, I'll bite on that. But again, Ohio State was a 10-fold time better than they are this year. They were better last year, and that came down to what you said, 1 score.
No, it was
13 points.
It's because Maryland played bad in the third quarter, but they showed out in the fourth. But 13 points, but it was, look at the amount of points, 73 points scored that game.
This is a shootout. This is a 24-7 halftime score for me. We got Ohio State 24, Maryland 7. Like Maryland gets like an early touchdown. You know what I'm saying? The momentum's going. They get an early touchdown, and then Ohio State's like clicking to like get in the form. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Now it's a full game. Let's get going. I think it's with 24-7 halftime score, and they might give up another field goal or a touchdown the rest of the game. I mean, I see this being like a 49-14 game. I mean,
that is a hot take.
I think Ohio State's gonna go crazy.
And even at 49-14, you ain't getting 69 points.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't touch the over under, because these games like this, you just never have to go.
I wouldn't touch it.
I wouldn't touch it, but like, I think Ohio State can win by 3 touchdowns. I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay,
they're not good.
Okay,
No. Bring it back. They are not that good, man. Look, and like I said, if you go back to the old podcast, look at the totality of the schedule. I think it'll be a closer game if Ohio does pull it out, but look at the totality of the schedule. Ohio's best win was against Notre Dame. If we go,
I know you're based out of DC and you love Maryland. I get that, but
hey, man, I'm saying, if you're looking at the 2 teams,
who they played?
But look at who Ohio State played. Ohio State played Indiana. Okay. It was 23-3, right?
Okay.
Maryland beat them 44-17.
Ohio State also went in and played Notre Dame in South Bend to get a win.
They should have lost. They should have lost.
Yeah. Georgia should have lost to Ohio State last year in the semifinals.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, that's very true.
Should have won.
I'm a Georgia fan. They should not have won that game against Ohio State. They lost. Exactly. Tom, thank you. Should have, could have won.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ohio State should have, could have, would have lost to Notre Dame. They didn't, but they won. And Western Kentucky is a good offense. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm just not impressed with Maryland's schedule. Maybe they do. I mean, that's why it's fun. We all debating. We don't know. Yeah. But I'm just saying that I'm not high on Maryland. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Bar, I want to ask you this last game.
Call me a bad guy.
I want to ask you this last game, Bar, because we was kind of split between us 3.
Yep.
What
you got?
LSU, Mizzou.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Let me go look at this shit real quick. Sorry, I don't know if it's cussing out loud on this podcast or not.
It's cool.
I don't know what kind of domain this is.
We are adults. We're good.
Go ahead and do it. Make the pick. You want to.
I just try. I didn't mean to drop the F-bomb. That's
no, you good. You good. That's on me.
LSU 5.5.
I mean, I know Missouri's 5-0.
Oh, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. 2 picks in a row, you're doing this to us.
What you got, man? What you got? Because if you say, boy, we're going to have to end this podcast early. He said something right here. Who you got, man?
I'm taking Mizzou plus 5.5.
What did they do to prove it to y'all, man? These dudes are
I'm doing it because, I mean, I haven't watched many LSU games this year, to be honest with you. I've seen Mizzou play a couple games. I watched the Vandy game a little bit.
Ooh, they look great.
I watched them play Vandy, and I watched them play Memphis. Not great opponents, obviously. I'll give that to you. But, I mean, They weren't like ever like,
and they struggled.
You know what I'm saying?
They struggled against Memphis.
I know.
But listen, Tom, listen to this. Tom, listen to this. Missouri was giving up only a little over 74 yards on defense rushing.
Yeah.
LSU's giving up 169, son.
But if you look at the difference, LSU's a passing, like, they're 50-50, but they're a passing team. 350 some odd yards passing, like that's what they're averaging.
I'm talking about defensively.
Man, I'm talking about Mizzou's defense versus LSU's offense. LSU's offense is finna be lighting it up, man. Hey, lighting it up.
Hey, well, what you said? You say that LSU's defensive. I got this ESPN saying Missouri's defense is allowing 74.8 yards. And
rushing.
LSU's 169?
Yeah.
Yes.
Double the yards allowed on
Look
rushing?
at who they've played.
Yes.
Ole Miss. That Ole Miss game tore them up. Look, that's what messed up all the statistics. The Ole Miss game.
LSU has played 3 SEC teams,
State,
and they played
Arkansas.
Florida
Come
State.
On, FSU.
That's fair.
Arkansas is terrible. Arkansas, take that off the record.
But this is the thing. The reason why it's so high. Look at the.
It shouldn't be that 169. You almost giving up 200 yards of rushing.
A lot.
Look at
that's a lot.
That's a lot of rushing.
That's a lot. 169.
It is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. I get it, but I'm saying, if you hear me out here,
okay,
they are finna pass the ball on them. They're not worried about running the ball on them. They are a pass first team. They want to pass the ball. LSU wants to pass the ball. Missouri is giving up those yards. 242. That's a lot to give up. Though LSU's doing the same. Missouri is not that elite. That 5-0 is not indicative of how good they are. Now, who knows? They could come out and show off this game. They got a good quarterback in Cook, passing it. But I just think Kelly's at the spot right now where he's gonna make something shake. But I could be wrong. I got them both in my parlays. Either way, I got enough to win them both. Either way, but I'm just saying, I don't have faith in Missouri. Every year, Missouri, then they get them like. They are the redheaded stepchild of the SEC.
They almost beat Georgia last year,
and they did. And that's the thing, though. It's like it's not one of those games where it's like LSU is definitely winning this game. That's I'm not saying that Missouri is definitely winning this game, but I said before, it's like, have they given up? Has LSU given up on the season? And I said, they only have that one loss in the West, but can Brian Kelly pick up the team and get them back on the right track? And I don't know if they too far gone. And you say LSU's strength of schedule is a little more challenging than Mizzou so far, but they have lost the games that was presented. They have lost to those teams, and Missouri has beat everybody they played so far.
Missouri would have lost by a lot more to those teams.
But it's still crazy.
You can say that definitely.
Missouri. It's still crazy Missouri's in the SEC. I mean, when they first came over, we're like, why is Missouri coming to the SEC? What were we doing? And I think they won the East like within 2 years. I mean, they came in like
they were good in the Big 12. Yeah, they were good in the Big 12, and they went over there. I'm like, well, I'm glad they left, honestly.
Can I respond to what Tom's fighting argument would be strength of schedule and weakness of schedule? I'm just going to read you Missouri's upcoming schedule. Missouri this weekend, Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, and finish with Arkansas. You want to talk about an absolute gauntlet stretch right there?
Yeah.
If all these teams are as hype as they say they are, is everyone believing that Kentucky is just another great Kentucky team that's going to threaten Georgia this weekend? We'll see. South Carolina, regardless of the outcome, I still think South Carolina is a team that you have to lock in on because they can throw that thing. They can spread the ball around, and they're dangerous.
Man, put pressure on the quarterback. He going to fold, man.
And honestly,
we didn't do that the first half. We decided to do that the second half.
We showed y'all how to handle them. We showed y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Tennessee has a gauntlet coming up. A&M, Bama, right?
Yeah.
A&M, Bama,
Kentucky,
Georgia,
Kentucky.
Do you think out of those first 3 games you come out with a loss? Because I'm keeping it with you. If you come out with a loss in those next 3 games, if you come out with a loss.
No, man, we good. We got this.
Anyway.
So A&M, Bama, Kentucky, you think you're 3-0?
Yep. I got faith in my boys.
That's a Tennessee fan, though.
We on one right
Yeah.
We on
I
one
mean,
right
we love y'all. Tennessee's one of the best fan bases in the world, man. But y'all are just so unrealistic with shit. It's
Bro,
ridiculous.
we beaten Tam, we beaten Bama, and we beaten Kentucky. Then we're going into UConn, smack them, and then Missouri, smack them, and then Georgia's coming to Neyland, and you know what's happening.
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good
exactly.
one.
I do know what's happening.
Yeah.
You're going to get the same thing Bama got last year in Neyland.
But we heard this all last year, too. Oh, Tennessee is never holding the polls. They're telling you.
Exactly.
And we tuned that thing up and had him and Hogan look back up. So that's all I'm going to say.
It was raining. The rest was BS. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we need it after this next third stretch.
We'll push through this a little bit because I got some stuff I got to get to. Who we finishing off with? I think we fit everybody. The big teams that we're going through, and our big back and forths right here. Biggest game of the weekend, hands down, is going to be that Oklahoma game. Right? I hate that it's at a big noon kickoff, whatever. That's crazy.
That's perfect timing.
No, man.
Nah, I think that's horrible.
You gotta have prime time for a game like that.
It's got to be prime time game.
Yeah.
I don't know why they play at 11 Central Time. I seen that a lot of Texas and Oklahoma fans were kind of trying to set a petition for that moving forward to be played at a later time. I don't know. Y'all know y'all are SEC fans, so if we move to, or obviously we're moving to SEC next year, does our time go back? Because we normally play at noon.
Yeah, you have to adjust to the Eastern.
Yeah, you got to adjust to that one for sure.
That's tough. Tom, before you get anything, I just want to get y'all's take on this real quick. I sent you this last night, but you didn't respond. I know you're asleep. But this is just off the record. Notable Michigan opponents next year: Texas, USC, Oregon, Washington, Ohio State.
Yeah, I saw that. They're finna run the gauntlet.
Michigan got some trouble next year.
Washington, if Penix stays.
If he stays,
If Penix leaves, because we've seen this. We've seen the 1 year role of a team because they have a quarterback that's been developed and he did the time he needed to do and he was really good. And when they dip, they're kind of like, what do we kind of got here? Because you can look, in all honesty, you can look at Utah as kind of in that situation, even though Cam Rising hasn't left. Without Cam Rising, that is a whole different team.
Mm.
And I think that would be a lot to say about it. Do I think that schedule is going to be tough? And I'm going to love to watch that because I also have kind of a feeling against Michigan.
Yeah.
It's strictly.
What is Cam Rising's injury?
I thought it's a knee injury or something like that happened to him.
I'm trying to see if he comes back. Is he still going to be the Cam Rising that beat USC last year?
Yeah,
or is he
coming back
handicapped Cam Rising?
Because think about it, you coming back without a lot of experience. You haven't been playing.
I mean, the experience is there. It's just
his experience is just like he just hadn't played all year.
Well, game time, not experience. Game time experience this year. Like it's you come back, like Jordan coming back to play with the Bulls, and you weren't getting in the game. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean I
do have a question for y'all at the end. So whenever y'all get ready,
we go ahead.
Oh yeah, we're good. That's my last little take.
We'll finish off. All right. What's up?
It's a good question. Who's more likely to return to college next year, Shedeur Sanders or Caleb Williams? Because Caleb Williams talking about.
I think Shedeur too.
But Caleb's been talking about how his NIL deals are crazy. So
they are crazy.
They're crazy. I don't know.
I could see Caleb Williams staying, but I think that's a little of a stretch.
Yeah.
Shedeur, I think, especially with the league changing next year, Deion Sanders don't want to have something like this happening again 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Shiloh has another year too, don't he?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. I think both of them. I think both of them stay. Honestly,
yeah.
I would bet that they stay at Colorado for another year.
Especially,
it's so many and he is like a top pick at QB. I think he was top 5 QBs to be taken.
So you think Caleb Williams is for sure? He just going to the NFL no matter what.
I don't think it's for sure, but I say it's likely that he probably is going.
Yeah,
he's looking for the money. Crazy right now.
Whatever gets the best opportunity and the best team for him to succeed, he's looking like I'm not going to be stuck on the Texans or Cardinals.
It sounded like he didn't want to go to Arizona, but Arizona's might not be the first pick. They're playing good. It might be somebody like the Bears.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be the
You know what I'm
Bears.
saying? Like,
The Bears
it
or
could
the
be one of those. So, like, yeah. And I have one more comment for Michael.
I think my thing, I would probably bet Sanders. I think Sanders would probably – Sanders is probably going to stay.
Yeah.
That's a strong feeling. I think someone said it because Dion said it. He was like, yeah, he ain't going. Also, a thing for Caleb Williams. He also, like, kind of baited it. His dad said it. Oh, he ain't going to go if he's going to a trash organization. College football is changing again next year.
Yeah.
New playoff system.
Mhm.
He's making money. USC's not bad. They're not going to lose a whole lot. Why would it hurt him to come back, rake another season of money in, rake in a few more million? Going to make the playoff if they stay at the same pace they are as of this year into next year. It's a win-win.
Exactly.
Do you think him coming back is him saying, okay, I want to get the money up? And I think it's kind of more if what happens this year if they miss a playoff.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. A lot of it depends on how their success rate at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Also, look at it this way: this year, let's say they don't make it to the playoff. If I'm sitting there, look who's leaving out of the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon's losing their quarterback.
Yeah,
Nix is gone.
Yeah.
Other than Colorado, I can't think Cam Risling's more than likely going to be gone. Other than Colorado. Isn't Colorado leaving the Pac-12 too next year?
They're going to the Big 12.
Right. Big 12.
He would run the Pac-12, win it.
There's no.
Well, he's going to the Big 10.
They're
going to Big 10.
There's only 14 in the Pac-12
Yeah.
in there.
Washington.
He's going to Big 10.
Only 14.
That's why he's playing Michigan next year. Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Better competition, better situation. I would not be surprised if he stayed. Not only for the opportunity to win, but the opportunity for the money.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it's a little unlikely. I think it's more chance that Shedeur stays and Shiloh. I think both of them stay. I honestly, I would say that's a lock that they stay.
Yeah. I'll take
I'll
that.
say
I'll take that. Bet. Well, great question, Var. I like that right there. Get us a little topic of conversation right there. Get us talking about something other than the monotonous right there.
The last thing I got to say for you guys, thank you for inviting me on y'all show today. Michael, Braves play tomorrow. I know this is the football podcast, but hey, Braves and Philly tomorrow. Braves obviously win.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Let's go. Chop it up.
I'm a Detroit Tigers fan. I don't even know what they done.
Let's
that.
go
Don't do it.
O's. Let's go O's. Let's get it, man. Them O's.
Hey, thanks for
All right,
inviting me,
y'all.
guys. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming.
Yes,
You
sir.
and Mike, both of you guys. Thanks for so much for
Appreciate
coming out. Taking the time. If you made it this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We still got that free shirt that was out there because the guy already had bought one. Thank you for your time. Anytime you get a view, we ain't got to get a sub. You get a view, you get a like, get a comment, anything that's helping us grow, get to where we need to be with it. So thank you so much for your time if you made it this far. Even if you only made it 2 minutes to the video, we thank you for that also, man.
Well, if they made 2 minutes to the video, they didn't see this part. But we appreciate it. Hey, and today is my birthday. I want to say that. And
Happy birthday, brother.
I'll
see you tomorrow.
Boomer. Y'all know what it is tomorrow. Big Boomer.
Go big go, baby. Go Vols, man. Let's get it.
No,
Hey,
that's not what we're saying.
Thank you so much. We are Bros with Mics, man. You know what's up. You see it right there at the bottom. I'm Tom.
I'm Cody.
And we out to stand, my boy. Peace.